So the Federal Trade Commission put an end to non-competes today. So anybody that was under a non-compete clause, the Federal Trade Commission has now said, nope, you can't do that.
I wonder why. Did you read any articles about it, or did you just see a headline?
Yeah, no, the articles are saying it's better for the economy, it's better for the nation, and it's better for the individual. And I tend to agree. I've disagreed with
what do you mean the individual? Like the individual that's signing the non-compete as in I'm not going to work?
Or being forced to sign it, or being held accountable to it. So,
they're not being forced. It's their choice to sell their bit. Like when I think of non-compete, it's you've sold a business and now you can't try to steal those customers that person willingly paid you money for.
Well, so there's one caveat with this, and that is the only place a non-compete can stay is if you've sold a business but retain 25% ownership. Then you have a non-compete. But if you sell a business outright and retain no ownership, non-competes, according to this thing released today, non-competes don't even apply to that.
I don't understand. They say that that's good and everything. That hurts you as a business owner trying to sell.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
no one's going to try to buy, no one's going to pay what you really want or deserve because they're like, this guy's just going to steal all my customers.
Yeah, they're going to have to gamify that a little bit and figure out how to navigate that.
I do like that it takes away PE.
Well,
you know what I mean? It makes people, it keeps one company from being a huge conglomerate just because they have a lot of money. You know what I mean? So your customers get better service when you're here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Other than just somebody coming in, buying up 6 companies like you, and then jacking up the price and having a bunch of Jimbo J-holes out there, working on air conditionings or air conditioners or snaking drains and stuff like that. I like that part of it.
Well, where non-competes were being applied that I never agreed with, I could always see it on the business sale thing, right?
Yeah.
You're buying a business from me. I've dominated this market for years. And you don't want me to compete against you in the market that I know very well and you are new to.
Well,
right?
Yeah, and so they literally paid you money to not do it.
Yeah, they're buying a business from me, and part of what they're buying is the lack of competition from me for 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? I get that.
Yeah.
But where they were being used and I don't agree with is, let's say you want to go work at ABC Plumbing Company as one of their lead sales guys.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
They would make you sign a non-compete saying you can't work in that type of role for any plumbing company within a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
And so in
Which
other
is
words,
ridiculous.
Yeah, choosing to work for them means ending your career should it not work out.
Yeah. So do you remember my friend Johnny Tracy, drummer? He worked at County Line Auto Parts. Okay. And then he left there and went to, I think it was Metro. It's on Front Street.
Yep.
Or Midtown. I think it's, I don't remember. But anyways, the people at County Line tried to tell him, you can't go there and work. You signed a non-compete.
Yeah.
And I had never, what you were just saying, I had never heard of it in that situation. How do you tell someone that if you fire them, they can't do that job anymore within, that's ridiculous. I get that part. He told me, he's like, well, show me the document. Yeah. And they couldn't produce it. He's like, man, I don't, him and I talked about it a lot. He's like, I don't remember signing anything like that. He's like, I don't think I would have done that.
Right.
I would, if you're going to get a regular job and someone says, hey, you have to sign this non-compete, fuck that. Why would you in your right mind even think about doing that? Yeah. But anyways, they couldn't produce the document. He was like, even if you do, I'm still going to work here. I'll see you in court. What are you doing?
The one company that I worked for that requested my resignation after 18 months.
I love how you say it all calm and nice.
Yeah.
But I can tell that you're holding back what you really want to say.
Yeah. 10 minutes before they walked into my office and relieved me of my duties for the day, requesting my resignation. They had me sign a non-compete, non-solicit, and hold harmless.
Why did you sign it? Let me ask you that. Not to pry, but it's a podcast and it's entertainment. Why would you even sign that?
So the non-solicit I can get. That's gentlemanly behavior to some level. The non-solicit basically means if I leave you, I can't go after your people or your customers for a period of years.
What was the period? You remember?
I can't remember.
Was it 1, 2, something like that?
I think it's probably 3 years.
3 years. Most of them are 3 years.
But the non-solicits are so easy to get around. Like, I can't go after your people, but if I create a job ad and put it in front of your people,
and then your
people call me,
yeah,
that's perfectly legal, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I was never worried about that. The non-compete, I knew non-competes never hold up in court. And so I'm like, no big deal there. The hold harmless was the catchy one.
Why did you sign it? Like, what was your thinking? What was your process?
Well, at that point, I was already like, I hated the job. It had put me on antidepressants.
I know.
I hated the job so bad.
That's why I'm saying you hated them. You hated the job. You were thinking about leaving anyway.
Yeah.
Why would you even, like, I would have been like, no, I'm not signing that.
I mean,
like, what are you going to do? You going to fire me?
Well, when the culture's, when the culture is that bad in organizations, it waters you down into making decisions that you probably wouldn't usually make.
That's where I was going with that.
And
they beat you down is what I was going to say. Like, you were just like, I've had whatever, just sign it.
Well, and when a significant majority of the employees there go on antidepressants within 3 months of their tenure there, like that's a sign that shit's not good, right?
Yeah. I would have loved to work there when I was like 28 and full of piss and vinegar and just burnt that place to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I got them back. I mean,
yeah, you did.
I took plenty of their employees and plenty of their revenue and everything else. So, legally.
I mean, right? He didn't stick them up and rob them. Like, but
But I mean, and then they burned me for my bonus and all that kind of stuff. And, But again, it was one of those things where I just didn't really care. Like the hold harmless thing, that was the catchy one, because it's like you can't sue them for anything.
I forgot to start my timer.
I know,
again.
I saw that.
I'm 10 minutes behind.
But
by the way,
ultimately,
sorry, buddy.
Like I've never. To me, the news of the FTC ending it, it's like, well, they were hardly ever enforced anyway, and so and if they were enforced, they didn't go far.
Yeah, I can see this being one of those things where like it goes to court in many different states, and then like they have to write new laws about the law, that's okay. If it's a business sold, then it's, at the discretion of, you know what I mean? Like there will be a bunch of caveats. Like this is probably just the first little wave of stuff. The only thing I don't like is that it hurts the small business owner that's looking to get out. Like, and I'm hoping that when I say it goes to court and stuff, or I think it's going to go to court and they're going to be allowed to like maintain some of that. Right. I think that's good for the small business owner that's 55 and he's wore out, but he's spent 25 years building this business and looking to cash out. Like,
well, it doesn't mean he can't sell his business. It just means that whoever's buying him out they don't have that leverage in the agreement.
I know that, but that means he gets paid less. Potentially gets paid less.
Possibly. I'm sure that also, too, they get creative with words and language, and they find other ways to come up with the same result. It's not a non-compete. It's
like the NFL salary cap.
Yeah.
Like, we're over 20 million, but because of the wording of this and this bonus structure, we're able to snake in sideways.
Exactly.
Now
lawyers are really good about inventing things with language, and so
that's why I hate lawyers.
I'm sure it'll come around. Like and if the downside is the business owner looking to sell now has a little less offering because they can't come with a non-compete as well. The upside is it's great for all employees out there, because I would never, ever have my guys sign a non-compete. I don't believe in them.
Of course you wouldn't. I would crucify you on this show if you did.
Well, what's crazy is there's a lot of people that do because they just don't know any better, right? And then all of a sudden,
young guys just don't. Yeah, they just don't know.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden things go south, conflict of personalities, or people change, or businesses change, or whatever, and now it doesn't work for, like, let's just use Austin as a hypothetical. If I said you can't do videography in the KC metro area after leaving here, like, for one, Austin would be foolish to agree to that. But on the other side of things, that would be me as an employer knowing that I'm ending his career if it doesn't work out for me.
I think, too, another perspective on this, and when you're an employee somewhere, typically you're an employee because you just want no involvement. You just want to punch and punch out. So I could see where you have a lot of employers who could take advantage of that. And employees are like, hey, listen, I just want to clock in. What do you want me to sign? Okay, let me get to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can see that's how maybe it ends up a lot of people like signing those things.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's like you're an employee, because it's like that's the perk of being employees. You don't have to worry about all this back end stuff and whatnot. Like just show me where to work and I'll work.